Did you know there's more life in a teaspoon of healthy soil than there are people on Earth? That's right. In just one tiny pinch of dirt, there's a bustling, microscopic metropolis, alive with bacteria, fungi, insects, and more. And this underground world is absolutely essential for life as we know it. But here's the shocking part. We're losing this incredible resource at an alarming rate. Every year, we lose an area of soil the size of Costa Rica to erosion, pollution, and unsustainable farming practices. It's a crisis we can no longer afford to ignore. Soil is something we all rely on, yet we rarely stop to think about it. It's not just dirt, it's the foundation of life on Earth. From the food on your plate to the air you breathe, it all starts in the soil. But how often do we stop and appreciate what's happening beneath our feet? In this video, we're going to explore the secret life of soil. We'll uncover its hidden superpowers, meet the fascinating creatures that live within it, and learn how regenerative agriculture is helping to heal the planet. Along the way, we'll discover surprising stories, jaw-dropping facts, and practical steps you can take to protect this precious resource. Trust me, by the end of this journey, you'll never look at dirt the same way again. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is soil, and why is it so important? At first glance, soil might seem like nothing more than a mix of dirt and rocks. But it's so much more than that. It's a living, breathing ecosystem that plays a crucial role in keeping our planet healthy. Healthy soil is like nature's Swiss Army knife. It does so many things at once. It stores water, filters pollutants, provides nutrients for plants, and even helps regulate the climate by storing carbon dioxide. In fact, healthy soils can store up to 1,000 pounds of carbon per acre. That's like removing hundreds of cars' worth of emissions from the atmosphere, all thanks to dirt. But here's the catch. Soil needs to be healthy to do its job. When it's degraded by over-farming or pollution, it loses its ability to store carbon and support plant life. This not only harms the environment, but also threatens our food supply. Think about this for a moment. Every bite of food you eat, every breath of oxygen you take, every tree you see growing, it all depends on soil. Without it, our planet would look very different. Now, let's dive deeper into the incredible world beneath our feet. Did you know that soil is home to a staggering variety of life forms? It's like a hidden metropolis, teeming with activity day and night. Let's meet some of the key players. First, there are the ants. These tiny engineers dig tunnels that aerate the soil, allowing air and water to penetrate deep underground. Then there are fungi, which create vast networks called mycorrhizal networks. These networks act like underground highways, helping plants share nutrients and even warn each other of danger, like an approaching pest. And then there's the bacteria. A single gram of soil contains over 1 billion bacteria. These microscopic workers break down organic matter, turning it into nutrients that plants can absorb. Without them, the soil would become a lifeless desert. It's not just the organisms that make soil fascinating, it's the way they work together. Ants, fungi, and bacteria form a kind of underground team, each playing a unique role in maintaining the health of the soil. Here's a thought. Every time you walk outside, you're stepping on a world that's alive with activity. Next time you see an anthill, think of it not as a nuisance, but as a vital part of our planet's ecosystem. Now, let's shift our focus to farming. Agriculture is one of the biggest ways we interact with soil, and it's also one of the biggest threats to its health. But there's a new movement that's changing the way we farm. It's called regenerative agriculture. Unlike traditional farming, which often depletes the soil, regenerative practices aim to restore it. Farmers are finding ways to work with nature instead of against it. For example, in India, a group of farmers transformed barren, dusty fields into lush, thriving ecosystems. They planted cover crops, rotated their harvests, and avoided harmful chemicals. These simple changes turned their soil into a carbon sponge. The results are incredible. Healthier soil produces healthier crops, which can feed more people and reduce food scarcity. And it doesn't just benefit humans, it also creates habitats for wildlife and helps combat climate change. Studies show that regenerative practices can increase soil organic matter by 50% in just a decade. Imagine what we could achieve if every farm adopted these methods. Not only would we secure food for future generations, but we'd also create a healthier, more sustainable planet. But here's the problem: our soil is in crisis. Every year, we lose more and more of it to erosion, deforestation, and unsustainable farming practices. This is a silent crisis with loud consequences. Without soil, forests would vanish, crops would fail, and entire ecosystems would collapse. It's a chain reaction that affects everyone, everywhere. And the clock is ticking. Experts warn that if we don't take action, 90% of the world's topsoil could be gone by 2050. That's just 25 years from now. So what's causing this crisis? One of the biggest culprits is over-farming. When we plant the same crops year after year without giving the soil a chance to recover, it becomes depleted. Deforestation is another major factor. When trees are cut down, the soil is left exposed to wind and rain, which wash away its nutrients. But it's not all doom and gloom. There's still time to turn things around. And the good news is, you don't have to be a farmer to make a difference. So, what can we do to help? The answer starts with small, everyday actions. One of the easiest ways to protect soil is by composting. Instead of throwing away food scraps, you can turn them into nutrient-rich compost that helps plants grow. Another simple step is planting native flowers and trees. These plants improve soil structure and provide habitats for wildlife. Even in urban areas, community gardens can make a big difference. Take New York, for example. One community garden turned a forgotten lot into a thriving green space. By composting and planting, they improved their local soil and created a space where people could connect with nature. Supporting sustainable farming practices is just as important. When you shop for groceries, look for products from farms that use regenerative methods. Every dollar spent on sustainable produce is a vote for healthier soil and a healthier planet. So, what have we learned today? Soil might be out of sight, but it should never be out of mind. It's the foundation of life on Earth, from the air we breathe to the food we eat. And it's up to all of us to protect it. Every handful of healthy soil is a miracle. It's teeming with life, storing carbon, and supporting entire ecosystems. But it's also incredibly fragile. Protecting soil is one of the simplest and most impactful ways we can fight climate change and ensure a better future. What if protecting soil was the easiest way to protect our planet? That's a question worth pondering. So now I ask you, what surprised you most about soil's secret life? Let us know in the comments below. And if this video made you think differently, hit like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Together, let's spread the dirt on soil. Pun intended.